What's up YouTube, Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I'm going to be installing some auxiliary reverse lights in my 1997 Lexus LX450, basically the same as a Land Cruiser. The standard reverse light just doesn't put out a lot of light. I ended up changing that to an LED. It's a whiter light, but it's still not very bright. What I'm going to do now is just add these LED, these little pod lights. These are from Motor. This is not a sponsored video. They did reach out to me about some other product reviews. Some of their stuff looked pretty nice, so I went ahead and picked up a pair of these just on my own. So this is not sponsored. I'm just going to do a simple wiring on this one. I'm not going to use a relay. You might have seen my other video of my Tundra with the auxiliary backup lights. I did the same thing. A little bit different light. It works amazing. I love how much more I can see when I go to put it in reverse at night. It just makes me smile. Everything is so much brighter. My wife as well, when she drives the truck, she's commented several times how much nicer it is to be able to see when you're backing up. So I'm going to do the same thing in this car. You know, if you're on a dark dirt road, you really can't see much behind you. Even though this one does have a backup camera, I added that with an aftermarket head unit. I still feel like these are going to be a huge improvement, and it'll be a pretty cheap and easy upgrade. First, I'm going to mount these, and then we'll wire them. I'm just going to wire these straight to the tail light circuit, basically the tail light power, and it'll be on that same fuse. These draw so little current or amps, it's really fine to add that to the same circuit without any complications or anything. I've seen a lot of other videos, people have just tied those right in, and I'm going to do the same thing. I just grabbed these little L brackets. I actually bent these, but had to bend them twice because I didn't get it right the first time, but just something simple like this. And my intent is that I don't want them hanging down below the bumper. I do have the tow hitch here, and we don't use that too much. Sometimes we'll put a bike rack on that, so I'm gonna keep that for now, but in the future I may end up getting rid of that and doing a different bumper on this rig if I really decide to build it. So while I'm sitting here figuring out where I want to mount this, I was going to put it in this tow hitch, but you know, I'll probably end up taking this off eventually and doing a different bumper, so I don't really want to have to remount these lights. There's a lot of these little holes in the frame. This one right here, or this one, I may just punch them all the way through. They don't go all the way through right now. I was just checking with a bolt. But then I was looking at the other side here, at the passenger side, and I forgot that well, the muffler's in the way if I were to do that. So that's why I was originally thinking just putting a hole in this tow hitch on the side. But now that I think about it, I really kind of like having it up higher. I like the frame idea. And then I got to thinking, maybe I'll just do the one. Maybe I'll just do the passenger side and see if that's bright enough. I mean, the symmetry issue will kind of drive my OCD brain insane, but maybe I'll just do the one and see how that looks, and that may be enough. Just gonna put a hole all the way through here and get a bolt through there to hold that L bracket, and I think that'll work. Now hopefully I can fit my drill in here, just barely. I'll probably cut this off right there. Let me just thread the nut on real quick and then mark it. Yeah, pretty much right there where I had previously bent it. Let me go cut that real quick and then I'll bring this back and put it in. I'm just gonna paint the other side of that hole where we drilled it through, just to prevent rust from starting over there. All right, and then we can put the light in there. The top of the bolt is captive in this little bracket, so easy enough. That looks pretty good. You can kind of mess with the angle if needed, but I think that looks pretty good right there. And I love that that's nice and tucked up underneath. We'll tighten that too. I'm gonna take off the tail light so we can figure out which wire we need to tap into for the reverse lights. 2 screws, and then the one on the outside here that holds the light assembly in place. See, these are like machine screws. And then this one is a lot longer. Set that aside, and pull off the light. Okay, so as you can see, looks like I have been in here already before. What I mean is, I've already tapped into that reverse light circuit because that's what triggers the backup camera to turn on. We're just gonna take this off. See if we can get in there and add another little wire for the LED. See, these are the two wires I need to get into. That's it. I've already gotten into them here and made these connections for the backup camera, but if I do two more right here, I don't think that'll be a problem. Now, since I'm in here, it looks like these were butt connectors heat shrink. They didn't do a really good job on this side, so I'm gonna add some heat shrink wrap to that too, since I'm in here. Try to clean that up a little bit. But I'm gonna cut it right here. How about right there? And right there. And just gonna strip these. That'll do. Okay, and I mentioned I was gonna do the heat shrink up here as well. Those butt connectors, they are heat shrink. You can see at the ends, and that does tighten it up a little bit, but I think this will help a little bit more. There we go. We're gonna do the same thing on the other connectors I'm adding, but I'm just gonna tuck these on there out of the way for right now. And it looks like it's gonna be easier to combine this on this side, the new wire. I'm gonna have it going that direction because it's gonna be coming back up here. I'm just gonna get it all set up and then I'll crimp it in place. Give it a little tug, that looks pretty good. Same thing on this side. All right, looks good. Perfect. I usually have just a little mini butane torch and it works really well on these, but we'll just use a lighter. Now I need to fit these wires through this same little grommet right here. All right, this is not going to be easy, but I'm going to just tape these around all together. Try to hold those wires in place. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just going to pull this bushing down. Hopefully I can pull it past that wire. That worked. There it is. And I need to grab that and pull it through. Oh, success. Perfect. Perfect. Let's get our wiring pulled all the way through. And now I'm going to fish this through. I think it just goes down into the fender, but we'll find it. All right, so let me show you. This has got this little interior panel right here. It's where your jack and everything is stored. And that's where the wire came through. So we can just pull that the rest of the way in. I'll take out the jack here real quick. And it looks like that other red wire for the backup camera, I just ran it down, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I think this blue piece is the original covering or casing for the wire. Put this little grommet back in. There we go. I've got some of this wire loom, pretty easy, just stuff the wire in there. Still gonna throw a few pieces of tape on this. Help protect those wires. There we go. All right, so you can see this is the hole right here that I need to come down through. That's where the backup wire comes. So I'm just gonna shove this zip tie up there so that I can just tape the new wire to the end of that zip tie. Should be able to find it. And there's the zip tie. I'll see if this works. All right, there it is. Just gotta pull that back down and then we'll tuck the wires over on that side. It doesn't look like I had anything protecting this wire on the inside. So what I might do is grab some more of that wire loom and put it in there as well. All right, and then if we just pull that zip tie back through, there it is. Success. Well, it's not perfect, but I feel a little bit more comfortable having it protected. And we'll just kind of tuck it back there out of the way. Of course, we'll put the jack and everything back in when we're done. All right, so just a couple pieces of shrink wrap here ready. Just long enough to cover these connectors. And then we'll put this guy in first. Okay. That's our positive side. Now you could always solder these too. I'm not very good at soldering, so I don't usually mess with it. This seems to work okay. That's good. Those look good. Now before I tuck these wires up in here, might as well go put it in reverse and see if that turns on. Yep. Okay, now what I'll probably do is just double this back and try to tuck that in as well. I am going to put another piece around there and then I'll just tape these together. Looks like that's just long enough. That'll just kind of keep them from bouncing around too much. But I think we'll be okay. Nothing really rubbing on anything. Okay, so we've got everything buttoned up down below. And this looks, of course, much better than how I left it last time. Go real easy on that screw there. You can crack the lens. All right, so we're all done. There's just your standard reverse light. There's just the LED. And then down here is our new added backup LED. We'll see what it looks like at night and see how much it illuminates on that side. Auxiliary light is installed. I've got it covered up, but I'm going to uncover that now so we can see the difference. And there you go. I know this is kind of weird just having it on the one side. I may end up adding another one in the future. You know, as you saw, the muffler was kind of in the way where I wanted to put it, so I just went with the one for right now. Definitely lights up this area much better than without. I like how it's tucked underneath. You don't even see the light unless you get really low. Obviously way better than the stock backup lights. And as I look at this, my OCD is kicking in. I probably will add that right side somehow, so stay tuned. I may post an update to this, but I think that is at least a great start. I'm glad I did this. It's a real simple upgrade. I thought maybe this would be more of a flood, and it's definitely more of a spot right down there in just that one area. It's really not spreading its light, so I'll probably have to add the second one over on this side to solve that. Okay, so I just changed this bulb out to a flood bulb. I didn't realize that the one that I bought first was a spot, and it definitely didn't throw the light as far. I think I can get away without adding that second light on this side. I think this is going to work just fine. I could play around and angle that a little bit more, but I think this is going to work. This is the original one here on the right. This is what I had installed by this company, Motor, and that is a spot bulb. Where each LED is, it's kind of clear. The reflector is just smooth and shiny. And so this is more of a spot and this is more of a flood. So this is the one that I just put in, and you can see it definitely throws that beam a lot wider. It's a much nicer look, and that's what I was going for. Hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description to these lights and a couple of the parts and tools used in the video as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.